This is how the championship standings look coming into tonight's race. Kevin Monroe has been on top of the standings for almost the entire second half of the season, and he's in pretty good shape. If either Allie Riggs or Jacob Eichholz wins the race, Monroe will have to finish 10th or better to take the title, and that does not even include bonus points. So once again, Kevin Monroe is in a very good position to take his first championship in his 11th season. Everybody below 6th place, CJ Cameron, is out, and I would also like to point out that all 6 of our championship contenders are chasing their first championship. 3 of them, Jacob Eichholz, Rene Recamier, and CJ Cameron, are also rookies. So we've got both the battle for the championship and the battle for Rookie of the Year tonight. I will now hand it off to Scott for the race. Thank you, Earl. I will now go through the starting lineup. The spots in row number 11 were awarded to the drivers who won the 2 B mains held last night. Rip Tyler won the second B main and will start on the outside, and on his inside is Ike Durbin, who won the first B main and is making his first ARLA Elite Series start tonight. Rachel Rainsford starts on the outside of row number 10. She is making her final start in the number 100 car for Motor Assault Racing. She will move over to Gravity Racing Incorporated next year. And then on her inside is Zach Webster in the 095 car. We believe that he might be coming back in 2012, but he has not said much about his plans as of late. Former Team Master Cup driver Dan Lecklider will be starting on the outside of row number 9. He is making his first ARLA Elite Series start tonight. Shane Lake will start on the inside of row number 9, and he will join Rachel Rainsford at Gravity Racing Incorporated in 2012. Jared Anderson starts on the outside of row number 8 in what could be his final ARLA start. He has expressed a lot of interest in running the ASCC next year with Griesberger Racing, and his teammate Dan McKay will be joining him in row number 8. Holden Roberts will be retained by Jaguar Racing in 2012. He starts on the outside of row number 7, and joining him on the inside will be Namimura in the 39 car. On the outside of row number 6 is Anthony Griffith, who will go to the TM Master Cup Series with Power Steering Incorporated next year, and joining him on the inside will be his former teammate Bob Steffens in the 211. Packer Carroll will be making his 50th career start tonight, and it will be his final start as a full-time driver. Carroll is just about guaranteed one of the Volpe seats in the TM Master Cup Series. Dale Underwood in the 03 will start on the outside of row number 4, and on the inside of row 4 is Tom Delgado. The TM Master Cup driver will be driving the 37 car for this race and this race only. Edwin Schwartzlowski will start on the outside of row number 3, and Rene Recamier will start on the inside. Starting on the outside of row number 2 is Allie Riggs, who has easily had her best season ever. And on her inside is Taylor Brillin, who has been making a big charge in the points in recent weeks. Starting on the outside of the front row is Jacob Eichholz, who won the rookie shootout at the beginning of the season. He got 25 bonus points for winning that race, and he's put them to good use by keeping himself up in the top 10 all year. And finally, the Smash Beer Pole Award will go to championship leader Kevin Monroe. He picks up 3 valuable bonus points in doing so, and the green flag drops here at the Rockford 200. Monroe gets a pretty good start. Jacob Eichholz, on the other hand, comes under attack from Taylor Brillin in the 65. Monroe's got about a 3-car length lead going into turn number 3, but here comes Brillin with the run. Monroe is going to lead the first lap of the race. That's 3 more bonus points, but here comes Brillin. She is Monroe's teammate and protege, but don't forget that she is chasing the championship as well. The first caution comes on to lap 10 as Jared Anderson gets into turn 3 too hot. He gets into Ike Durbin, which takes both cars into the wall, and you see Anthony Griffith spinning into the wall as well behind them. Griffith made contact with Rip Tyler and lost control of the car. Interestingly enough, Tyler drives for Power Steering Incorporated, the team that Griffith is going to in the Master Cup Series. Bob Steffens loses the engine on that 211 car under yellow, and he slams into the pit wall. It looked like that might have been out of frustration. Monroe leads on the restart. He was able to hold off the 65 during that run, but here comes the 313 of Cameron with a big run right after the restart, and Monroe is quickly going to lose the lead. Monroe tries to hang on to the outside, but the 313 has the preferred line going into 1, and now Brillin's going to take advantage of this, pouncing on Monroe coming down the backstretch, and she slides right up into her team owner, and she keeps pushing him all the way through turn 4. This opens up the door for Jacob Eichholz. 3 wide going into turn 1, and Brillin makes contact with Monroe once again. It seems that Brillin decides to suddenly not play very nice, but her new strategy seems to be working out as she will quickly move up into the lead. You see Namimura taking the third spot from Jacob Eicholz. Mura's season has been a bit of a struggle, so it's good to see her finally get her act together for this last race. And her night's going to get even better as she takes the lead from Taylor Brillen. Mura has a victory on a short track already, which came in 2010 at Buffalo Downs. However, in that race, she came across the line second and was handed the victory when Benji Flynn failed post-race inspection. So now she is trying for a legitimate short-track victory. Packer Carroll has already worked his way up into the 5th position. Carroll originally failed to qualify for this race, however his teammate Zach Gott gave up his spot for his car owner. He reportedly did so in order to guarantee Carroll his 50th career start. Carroll is almost guaranteed a spot in the Team Master Cup Series in 2012, so we are unsure of whether or not he will attempt any more ARLA races in the future. Taylor Brillen has taken the lead back from Namimura, but Mura decides that she wants to bathe in the spotlight some more, and she will quickly drive back around the 65. After his very promising performance in the heats, Tom Delgado has dropped back to the lower midfield. Delgado was very confident about his chances coming into this race, however, that confidence is probably fading very quickly. But it's still early in the night, and we've seen people make big comebacks in the history of this race, so we'll just have to see what Delgado's got in store. Taylor Brillen assumes the top spot once again, and you're going to see that Namimura in the 39 has fallen back to 3rd. Jacob Eicholz is 4th, and Kevin Monroe is hovering in the 5th position. Rene Ricarmier is lurking back in 6th. The past few weeks have been a bit of a struggle for the Zero team, so realistically, Ricarmier is going to need a very big result and a lot of attrition among the point leaders if he wants to win the championship. However, Ricarmier is probably not facing too much pressure to perform because, and this is one of the worst kept secrets ever, he's already got a guaranteed drive in the Team Master Cup Series next year for Majestic Motorsports. So no matter what happens tonight, he's got that to look forward to. A few moments later, Monroe is going to come under attack from Ricarmier. Oh, but he pushes up the track into Monroe, and both cars go sliding up into the wall. That was a bit of an overambitious move from the Zero. However, neither Monroe nor Ricarmier are going to lose too many positions. Behind them, Tom Delgado and Holden Roberts get together in the same corner, and Delgado goes sliding up the track. A dismal night for Delgado gets that much worse. Taylor Brillen continues to lead on the restart. Namimura has moved back up into the 2nd position. Brillen gets a pretty good jump at the start, but Mura is going to really get going down on the inside. She's right on the 65's back bumper coming into 3, but Brillen is going to hold her off this time. However, Namimura will soon get around the 65, but now she has Ali Riggs breathing down her neck. Riggs throws it into the corner. Mura slides up a little bit, opening the door for the 19. Riggs is going to have the preferred line coming into turn 3, and she clears the 39 car. Riggs will lead that lap and pick up 3 bonus points. She was tied for 2nd with Jacob Eicholz coming into this race, and right now she is doing her championship hopes a lot of good. Like Tom Delgado, Dan Lechleiter showed a lot of speed early on in the week, but thanks to this pass by Shane Lake, Lechleiter will now be the last car running. Just ahead of this battle, Tom Delgado is going to wash up into the 313 car, taking both cars into the wall and triggering the 3rd caution as well. Delgado was actually making up some ground as well, but naturally this is going to set him back. Ali Riggs lost the lead to Taylor Brillen before the caution came out, but she pounces on the 65 right on the restart. She's going to bring the 39 car with her, and you see that Dale Underwood has worked his way up to the 4th position, but he's about to lose it to Anthony Griffith. Didn't Griffith go spinning a while ago? Here is Kevin Monroe, who's dropped back a bit. He slides up the track into Jared Anderson coming off at turn 4. He then makes contact with Packer Carroll, who pushes him all the way into turn 1 and back up into Anderson. That was quite avoidable on Packer Carroll's part, but it looks like he might have thought that Monroe is crowding him a bit, and oh, what is Monroe doing? Monroe just drove right into Anderson as they were coming around to take the yellow. I'm not sure what was going on there. I can hardly blame Anderson for that initial incident. Let's go on board with Kevin Monroe. Now they are racing back to the yellow, and Monroe gets under the 9 car and drifts right up into him. I'm not sure whether he was frustrated or if he genuinely lost control of the car. And there you have it. Kevin Monroe has been called to race control, and if history is any indication, he might receive a point penalty for causing an incident under yellow. So this could possibly affect the outcome of the championship. Anyway, Ali Riggs leads on the restart with Namimura in second. Riggs and Mura have been two of the more aggressive drivers in the series, but they've been playing pretty nice with each other so far. Although in Riggs' case, it's pretty hard to rough up your competition when you're leading the race. A few laps later, Edwin Schwartzlowski starts to make his way up towards the front. Namimura falls back and Schwartzlowski takes third from her. Schwartzlowski's car has only started to come to life in this portion of the race. He was nowhere near the front in the beginning stages. Schwartzlowski is the first amputee to compete in the ARLA Elite Series. He is, of course, missing his right arm, but that has not stopped him from being very fast during the year. He has also established himself as one of the more charitable drivers in the field. He has donated a lot of time and money to Hope for All children's charities. In fact, earlier this afternoon, he led a walk around the Rockford Speedway organized by Hope for All. That event raised over $20,000 for the organization, which Schwartzlowski was personally very happy about. Rachel Rainsford has been making her way up towards the front as well, and behind her is Ike Durbin. Like Schwartzlowski, these two have been nowhere near the front all night and have just now started to come to life. Taylor Brillen gets around Ali Riggs to take the lead once again, but she will soon come under attack from her teammate Schwartzlowski. Schwartzlowski is trying to win the race for himself, not seeming to care that his teammates in the running for the championship, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would personally be disappointed to see people laying down for the contenders. I say if you want to win the championship, you've got to earn it. Zach Webster has come to life after hanging around in the back of the field for most of the race. We aren't even sure if this team is coming back, but Webster is certainly driving like he's confident about his chances for next year. Webster is up to the 4th spot with Kevin Monroe. Right behind him, he just took 5th from Dan McKay. Taylor Brillen gets back around Edwin Schwartzlowski with Ali Riggs still lurking back in 3rd. Tom Delgado in the 37 will be the first car to be lapped by the leaders in this run. Brillen gets around him with relative ease, and you see that she has built up a very comfortable lead at this point. There is almost a whole straightaway between her and Edwin Schwartzlowski, but Delgado's night continues to go downhill as the handling has completely gone away on that car. Dan Lechleiter would be Brillen's next victim, but he is actually going to fight back, and he will successfully do so, getting back around the 65 to stay on the lead lap for now. Remember that speed Zach Webster showed earlier? Well, that's completely gone away, and now he is about to go a lap down. It seems that he used up his car getting to the front of the field, and now that's coming back to bite him. But we've seen a lot of that in this race's history. People will go from the back to the front and vice versa very quickly. So maybe Webster has something else in store for later on, although it would be kind of hard to show that when you're running a lap down. Here's a surprise. Tom Delgado is involved in another caution. This time Rachel Rainsford gets into him coming into turn 3. He slides up into the wall right in front of the leaders, and Dan Lechleiter gets into the back of him coming off of 4, turning him into the 03 of Dale Underwood, but thankfully nothing further happens. I believe Delgado is going to be hosting a drinking show here on OEN during the winter, and I bet he's really going to be looking forward to that after tonight. Taylor Brillen continues to lead on the restart, and you're going to see how many cars are in between her and second place Edwin Schwartzlowski. She has a cushion of 6 lapped cars between her and the 66. But Schwartzlowski has no problem cutting through all that lap traffic and eating away at Brillen's lead. It also helps that a lot of the lapped cars were able to get back around the 65 after the restart, as you see Anthony Griffith in the 00 going after her. But Griffith, coming into turn 1, is going to fall victim to Schwartzlowski as Schwartzlowski drives it in really deep. And now there is nobody in between Schwartzlowski and the 65 as he gets a huge run on her coming off of turn number 4. Schwartzlowski is right there, but he is not done. Brillen tries to throw the block on him, it looks like, but Schwartzlowski makes his way under her anyway and sweeps by Brillen for the lead. Ali Riggs is going to take over the second spot shortly afterwards. Shane Lake in the 82D is between Riggs and Schwartzlowski. Lake lets the 19 go by on the inside, and eventually Riggs is going to catch and pass Schwartzlowski to take the lead of the race once again. But lurking back in the 4th position will be Kevin Monroe. Due to the possibility of a point penalty with that incident with Jared Anderson, Monroe now faces more pressure than ever to stay ahead of his fellow championship contenders. The standard point penalty for causing an incident under yellow is usually 25 points, So Monroe should be in good shape if he can finish at least 25 points ahead of his nearest competitor. But you just saw Rene Recamier go by the 63, so that's going to set him back a little bit. The battle for the lead heats up once again. Allie Riggs gets by Taylor Brillin to reassume the lead. It has been Riggs, Brillin, and Schwartzlowski hogging the top three for much of the race, but we'll have to see if Monroe and Recamier have something for this trio. And the top three certainly aren't helping each other by fighting for the lead like this, as Brillin once again gets by Allie Riggs. If you look behind Schwartzlowski, you see Monroe creeping closer and closer to the leaders as the laps wind down. Packer Carroll and Ike Durbin battle for position going into turn 3. Carroll slides up the track into the 44 car. This takes both cars into the wall and sends Carroll for a slide down the front stretch. This brings out the caution with just 10 laps to go, so we are going to have a sprint race to finish off the season. Brillin leads on the restart. 4 cars in the top 5 are championship contenders. The others are Allie Riggs, Kevin Monroe, and Rene Recamier. And Jacob Eichholz is in 6th as Allie Riggs gets a run on Brillin, coming down into turn number 3. Schwartzlowski tries to follow, and he leans on the 65 a little bit. This battle allows Allie Riggs to extend her lead. Schwartzlowski is going to have the position on Brillin going into the corner, and he gets a very nice run through 4. Riggs' lead is down to about 4 car lengths, and Schwartzlowski is still coming. He has reduced the lead to about 2.5. It will be 2 laps to go this time by. Going into 3, Schwartzlowski slides up, and Riggs is able to hold him off this time. But going into 1, Schwartzlowski drives it in deep once again, and now he is right on the 19's back bumper. Coming down the back stretch, he slides up into 3 and into the side of the 19. Coming to the white flag. Schwartzlowski leads the lap after contact with Allie Riggs. Here comes Monroe for 2nd with a huge burst of speed. He takes the position, but he is not going to have enough as Edwin Schwartzlowski wins the 2011 Rockford 200. His 2nd victory in his rookie season. Allie Riggs came across the line 3rd, and to say that she was unhappy with Schwartzlowski's pass would be an understatement. Taylor Brillin fell back to 4th right after the restart. Jacob Eichholz finishes off his fantastic season with another top 5 finish. Rene Recamier comes home 6th. I'm sure he would have liked to finish his ARLA campaign on a higher note, but it's still been a great season for that team. Dan McKay finishes in a solid 7th place in his final start for Griesberger Racing. As I mentioned earlier, he will be moving over to Last Row Autosport in 2012. Rip Tyler finishes a very quiet 9th, and Nami Mura will round out the top 10 after having a very strong beginning to the race.